G'day gamers, vaderG here. Welcome back to the channel. Today I want to have a bit of a chat about the 4th year anniversary Marvel Future Fight. 4th year anniversary coming up in around about 3 weeks. Should be a pretty big event for Netmarble and the game in general. I'd like to take the opportunity to have a bit of a chat about some possible changes that I personally would like to, I wouldn't mind seeing within the game. Usually at the sort of annual updates, Netmarble, they do implement changes. So new characters, new game modes, new mechanics. They're all sort of possible things that that have happened, and based on history with their annual updates or their anniversary events, there has been some significant changes in the game. So what I'm doing here is putting together a little bit of a vaderG wish list. I might break this up over a couple of videos, and I don't know how long it's actually going to go for talking about it, but I've jotted down a few points and just want to have a bit of a chat and hopefully get some feedback from you guys as well. So like I said, vaderG wish list, and everything I mention, I just want to say everything I mention in this video is my opinion. And there's an old saying about opinions. Opinions are like assholes, everyone has one. So you might have a different opinion, and in this case I encourage you to comment below, like put your feedback on the video, hopefully open some communication up and get some good ideas happening, and hopefully someone from Netmarble is actually having a look at the video, having a look at the comments, and you never know what might come of something like that. Firstly, we've got this pretty cool 4th year anniversary event, which everyone would have seen. Got some good crystals there, and look, I reckon we'll definitely need some crystals for the actual for the end game uniforms. I'm sort of thinking, maybe up around 8,000, 9,000 crystals for the uniforms. I wouldn't be surprised if there's an epic quest. So you're looking at about another 6,000 crystals there. I'm sort of thinking 15,000 crystals is probably, if you got that, you're in a safe zone. Anything below that, you kind of you're probably gonna have to pick and choose what you're going to do in that update, which is no problem. Everyone plays at their own pace, and I fully appreciate that. So firstly, I wouldn't mind having, well, the one thing that why I did this video is, you can see this line here. We still have a surprise up our sleeve for everyone on the date of our anniversary. And like I said, based on prior years, they have made some pretty big changes to the game at the anniversary type events. So anyhow, I'm just going to go through the game modes which I don't think need any enhancing, or I don't think really need any sort of urgent improvement. And I think we should probably take the time just to think about how many actual game modes there are in this app, which is a phone game. Let's face it, it's a phone app. I mean, it's got an amazing amount of game modes. So here's a few I don't really think need any kind of improvement. Giant boss raid. I think giant boss raid is pretty cool. I think the rewards, since they've buffed them a month ago, I think they're actually all right. They're all lamped today, so I'll have to have a bit of a go of this a bit later on. See if I can get myself a purple enhancement, type enhancement there. I think world boss mode, it doesn't really need to change. The mode, I think the mode can build the skill of the player. It's a pretty good way of sort of testing how characters go against other characters from a damage point of view. And it also helps players, I think, learn about damage procs and the timing of that. Another, I think World Boss Invasion, I don't think it really needs to be changed. I think it's probably a pretty cool mode. I farm it a lot because I'm only VIP 12. I have to farm it a fair bit to get my biometrics. I don't think there's any need in changing that. Co-op is fine. I think timeline battle, there'll be lots of people sort of saying it does need a rework. I actually think it's not too bad. I think it's one of the oldest modes in the game. I think it's kind of relevant. I think it encourages people to build up PvP characters. I know it does for me, and the crystal rewards are pretty good at the end of the week as well. What else have we got? Oh, Shadowland. Shadowland. They've obviously recently just enhanced Shadowland, so I think they've done an excellent job. I don't think there's any need to sort of modify that mode or muck around with it. Any of the sort of grinding type things, story mode, daily mission, epic quest, special mission, any of these sort of grinding type modes where we get a lot of our sort of gear co-op, where we've got a lot of our sort of materials to spend. I don't think they need any changes, to be perfectly honest. I think they're pretty cool as is. So what's on my wish list? So I've sort of gone through and said, well, okay, here are the things I actually think are pretty good and we don't really need to change too much, and everyone will have their own opinion on that. There might be some differences of opinion. But the first mode that I would like to see some changes on would be this mode, Alliance Conquest. This was actually a pretty cool mode when they first introduced it, as a way of 40 players in Alliance of kind of contributing and working together and strategically doing stuff. And it was kind of like that the board game. What's the board game? I think that I can't remember the name of it. Anyway, where you take the zones and all that sort of thing. It's a pretty cool mode, but within 6 months, for me personally, the shine wore off this mode. I think just the time taken to actually play it 2 hours per session is pretty heavy. The cool part about the mode is if you've got 180 characters and you want to use them all, this is one of the only modes. Shadowland, you get to use them in Shadowland as well, but this is one of the only modes where you actually get to do that and actually see them perform, I guess. And there's been some surprises through this mode. I'm talking, some of the characters that really sort of actually go really well in this mode. Some of the spiders, they sort of show their stuff in their iframe. Spider Gwen is one that pops to mind. Squirrel Girl, so it's been cool in that respect. But the things that really hold this mode back is the amount of time taken. The time zones really don't suit everyone, that's for sure. I know they've done their best to try and spread it out over 3 zones. And the rewards for the amount of effort put into this mode are garbage. I'll stick a couple of rewards up on the screen. The best reward you can get is some 5-star ISO boosters, which is a really good reward. I'm not going to say that's a bad reward, it's a good one. But you might get that 1 every 10 mythic chests, and I'm talking mythic. You don't get them in any of the lower chests, so you really have to be playing this mode a lot to get a mythic chest. But equally, you can get 180 gear up kits, or 190 dimension debris, or like this screenshot here, some level 5 experience chips, which might sound good to a new player, but considering the amount of time that's actually invested in the mode, I think that the rewards really need a rework. I actually think the whole mode needs a rework. I think the rewards probably, if they let's just say Netmarble put CTPs in the mythic chests, or just at a low rate, maybe similar to World Boss Ultimate Mode, where it's kind of like a limited chance. But even seeing stuff like some cards or a Blease or Uru or just T3 materials, put some T3 materials in the mythic chest, and you watch everyone flock back to this mode. I take my hat off to the guys up the top here. I think they're amazing. The amount of time and the amount of actual effort and coordination that they put in to actually, sort of getting these top, to stay in the top 50 Alliance Conquest is a huge effort. So I take my hat off to these guys, and I'm not criticizing the mode on their behalf. This is just my opinion. So I'd like to see these guys who really put these huge amounts of rewards in get something back. And I'd like to know that if I'm going to put it in, an hour a day, I have a chance of actually getting something pretty good. Anyway, that's enough. I've banged on about that enough. That to me, that's my biggest. I'd like to see that #1 rework. Alliance Battle. I'd like to see a change in the poor old Frost Beast. I'd like to see a different opponent in Alliance Battle. Throw in Thanos, throw in Surtur, throw in anything. Anything other than the poor beast that has been flogged to death countless times. What are we going on? Probably 3 years of Alliance Battle. 3 years, that's 900 and something days in Alliance Battle. You have to kill him, 2 times a day. So that's, you're looking at 2,000 times per player that you've actually demolished him. And then, if that's not enough, you get him in World Boss Invasion as well, 1 day a week. And it's kind of like, hey, let's bring something new on. I think they've done a really good change in bringing 2 weeks into the Alliance Battle mode. But poor old Frost Beast, give him a rest, give him a break, put him out to pasture, let him go and retire and breed and make baby Frost Beasts or whatever he's going to do. But just let's change it up a bit. Something with different attack patterns. Something that might require a little bit more strategy or a bit of different gameplay. I think that would be really cool to see in Alliance Battle.